Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my Game of Thrones Legends mobile game content. So today I want to bring you something new that was discovered just now, a couple hours ago, in my Discord. One of my members, one of my longtime, most prominent members of my Discord and of my house, Sir Michael Feddo. He posted this information for us today about a new mechanic that he discovered had been loaded into his game that I want to share with you. It has to do with a new demo trial that is available inside the Monsters Beyond the Wall summon. So some of you, and you may want to check your account because this is a really cool thing that you can get some really good rewards in, and you want to go and see if you have this or not, because if you do have this, you'll want to do it because you're going to end up getting some really good tokens at the end for a reward, and you want to take advantage of this quickly before, you know, they may decide to pull it down, or they may decide to change it, and it may be worse or it may be better, who knows. But if you have it, you really want to make sure you go and do this. It is inside the Monsters Beyond the Wall summon. If you click into that and you go inside the summon, you will see if you have the content only. Now this is not for everybody because you can obviously see that I do not have what I'm fixing to show you. So the only reason I know about it is because my awesome member of my Discord and of my house, Sir Michael Feddo, shared this. You will see, if you have it, a little button right here in the middle of the Ice Warden that says Demo, okay? You'll click that and then you'll go into the event. And let me just take you into a set of screenshots that I have that's going to kind of walk you through what's available and show you kind of where their mindset is on this. As you can see, if you have the ability, it's going to be right here. When you click into the summon, you're going to see a free demo button. Whenever you click that, you're going to be taken to this screen to let you know, hey, this is called the Proving Grounds. It's the Monster Beyond the Wall, and it is a trial demo, whatever, you know, a trial event that's kind of a demo thing, because they're saying it's, you know, in testing, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Get out of my mouth here. And you can see the rewards are 10 White Walker shards and a green token and some silver. The green token's great. We always want to get those wherever we can. At every opportunity we can get a green token, we want to get those. Silver, I'm never going to kick out of bed because I'll take it no matter where I get it. And the 10 tokens is really nice for this Ice Warden, because why not? You want to unlock him and get him going. So you want to go in there and do this if you can. Now what it is it's broke into 6 different battles. The trial itself has 6 different battles. They give you a team to work with, and then they talk to you about the mechanics that you'll need to try to use to beat the enemy team that you're facing. So right now on battle number 1 of Monsters Beyond the Wall demo summon trial, you can see that the enemy team you're going against is the Longbraid and then this other Free Cities guy, I can't remember his name. They give you the Ice Warden and Tormund as your team. You don't get to select who you want, you have to use who they give you, and they make the Ice Warden the leader. So basically they're trying to show you, you know, introduce new mechanics and stuff like that is what I think they're really trying to get this to do for them, to help them kind of explain new mechanics in a way where they can reward you and where they can also give you a fun thing to do to kind of learn them. So in the first battle, you use Ice Warden and Tormund. Then you get the second screen that comes up usually on every battle that kind of details the objective. It says defeat all enemies. That's simple enough. We know how to do that. Punch them in the face till they die. The enemies will attack in 2 turns. If they are given the chance to attack, they will defeat your team. So by 2 turns, you need to get enough yellow and enough purple to be able to load them up, do their skills, and kill them. Tormund is an AoE, so that's a good one. I'm not really sure what Ice Warden does because I don't have him yet, so I'm not really sure what to tell you about that. But some of you that have him will know, you know, what to do with him. But it can be done, and it may take you a few, some of these may take you a few tries though, because they're just a certain amount of turns, like 2 turns. So you're really going to have to get some good RNG on your initial board set to be able to allow you to kind of make some good matches at the start to be able to do this, because you could do it with gem damage, but you're more than likely going to need to get yellow and purple right off the bat to be able to get these 2 off the ground in 2 turns to be able to do it. So you may have to do it a couple times to get an actual really good board to be able to clear it the first, first couple turns. The fear, it talks about the fear mechanic as part of the first one, because you're using the Ice Warden, and his main thing is a new status effect that he's putting into play called Fear. The Ice Warden uses Fear, which is a powerful effect that delays enemy basic attacks. Since enemies gain stamina when their basic attack occurs, Fear can delay their skills. So that could possibly be useful in helping you be able to defeat this battle, and that's just, calling out and explaining the new mechanic that's tied to this new character. So this is a really cool and fun and interesting way to explain new mechanics. Tutorials are one thing, but actually putting you in gameplay and letting you play around with it is another. So I'm liking this approach, especially when it comes with rewards. I need rewards to validate my time that I've spent in game, and I really appreciate that when they do that. Battle number 2 is going to be your Daenerys that they give you, leveled up to, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars and level 150. I don't know about gear or anything like that. That would be interesting to see if the character actually has some kind of gear on, or whether it does actually look into your inventory and see what kind of gear you have on your Dany if you have her. So that would be an interesting question to find out. But this is going to be the person that you use to fight against him. So within a couple of turns, you need to power her up enough to burn him down, which shouldn't be too hard to do, because at this level she does good damage. So just a couple of turns and a good board set should be all you need. They're telling you the objective is to defeat the enemy by the end of turn 2 and use Daenerys' skill Dracarys, and Drogon will defeat the enemy White Walker, which Drogon will defeat anything that he burns, with his skill. So that's not too challenging, actually. You just need a good board set, and to get her skill off probably 1 time is all it will take, because I'm sure that the White Walker at this level is not so strong that it can survive more than 1 hit with a 66,000 power rating. So 1 hit is probably going to do it. So if you can just get lucky enough to get her charged up in 2 turns and then take that hit, by the end of turn 2 you should have it. In battle 3, you're going to fight a 3-person Stark team, and they're basically telling you to pay attention and watch out for Sansa's attack buff, because she does an attack and defense buff as her main thing, and if she buffs these too much, they will hurt you and kill you. Your team is going to be Craster and the Skeletal White, with Craster as the leader. These are the ones you're provided this time. They're both at 5 stars, 150 levels. Not really sure what the levels are on the enemy team you're fighting, but the power is very similar. So I'm assuming that their levels are probably just a little bit lower than these, because there's 3 and you have 2. So for the power to work out the same, I'm going to guess that these are, let's see if it shows. No, we don't have a screenshot that show, but I'm gonna guess they're probably about 75-ish each or so that the 95,000 power works out to be roughly similar to the 2 150s that you have in your team. Then it's going to detail a little bit about Craster and his ability, because Craster is a new hero also, and he does have a new ability, versatile support champion that works well with Revive. His skill, Dark Tribute, can deal damage to an enemy target while shielding an ally. So you can shield an ally and deal damage to an enemy target, and if you get the chance to choose, you probably should focus on selecting Sansa because she is the go-to item on this battle that they're wanting you to deal with. So obviously the mechanic, if you can get her down first, that's probably your best move. Okay. So battle number 4, we move on to where we are now going to fight Daenerys at 188,000 power ranking. So that's pretty strong. It's at least a 5-star with a lot of gear, or it could be possibly 6 stars at that power level. She is going to be dealt with by your team of 3. You're going to have Craster, the Ice Warden, and Thoros of Myr. Now, if you remember correctly, they said Craster worked well with a revive mechanic, and Thoros is one of, I think, the only heroes in the game that can actually bring people back from the dead. So yeah, he is going to work well with Craster for sure. Even though they're not the same faction, the revive mechanic will work with Craster's ability, which should synergize pretty well, and we'll see how well that goes. Throw in the Ice Warden in that 3-man team and you should be able to deal with Daenerys, as long as Drago doesn't burn you down. And the objective description, they're talking about Winter's Advance. The objective is the Ice Warden must survive for 2 turns. So whatever you got to do, probably more than likely use Craster's ability to shield him so that he can be stronger and survive that dragon hit. If he does die, I don't know if Thoros will get the chance to actually bring him back, and as long as he's alive at the end of 2 turns, will that count as a victory? I don't know. We'll have to just kind of play with that one and see, but that could possibly be a thing as well, because they put Thoros in there for a reason. So you're obviously going to need to either synergize with Craster's skill with Thoros, or possibly use him as a last-ditch effort to win the match by reviving the Ice Warden. We'll see how that goes. Use this adept survivor's abilities effectively to protect his allies and hinder enemies with that fear mechanic as well. So that was battle 4. Battle 5, you're going to be thrown against a green team. You're going to have Kingmaker, Criston Cole, the Mysterious Green Seer, Aegon, Alicent, and Aemond. And there's a pretty good color dispersion on this team, so they are going to be pretty strong. They're at 409,000 power, so that's probably roughly about 150 each for each of these to have that many add up to about that. So I'm guessing that they're probably going to be about 5 stars. It looks like your team is a mixture of 4 and 5 stars. You're going to have Jon Snow, Craster, Ice Warden, another new hero called the Unyielding White, and Beric Dondarrion in your party. You're going to have a good color dispersion as well to match their color dispersion. So it looks like you're probably just going to have to use the mechanics provided to try to beat this team down with your team. In the Greens challenge, it says that the Greens have tremendous early power due to their birthright buff. And if you know how birthright works, you know that birthright is strong at the beginning of the battle, and then it kind of tapers off the longer the battle goes. So if you can survive the first few turns on this with the birthright buff as it ticks down, you probably will have a better chance of surviving the longer you live, or a better chance of winning, I should say. So yeah, the fear mechanic, the brittle mechanic, the shielding, the fire generation, and then whatever the Unyielding White does. I can't remember right offhand what the Unyielding White does, but I'm sure it probably plays in together with the Ice Warden in somehow. So the White Walker's synergies with Fear and Revive will help them counter this playstyle. So it looks like you're trying to either outlast or, just kind of cut down on stamina generation, because with some of these new green team stamina generation skills, like with Aemond, and it could be kind of rough keeping that stamina regeneration down and keeping them down. So that's kind of an Outlast looking play style on this one, and then eventually just beating them down. On battle number 6, you're going to go against a Stark or ice team. It's all Starks, so it is going to be fairly synergistic and powerful, I would think. I would say that you're probably going to struggle with this one the most, because if the ice mechanic gets going on your team, you're going to have problems, because you're going to have trouble with stamina generation. You're going to have trouble with stunning. The Northern Warden will stun you. The stamina regeneration will be cut down. Ned's going to be beating your face in. Caitlyn's going to be raising the defense. Jon Snow's going to be giving them the critical hit ability, ability ×2 or whatever it was. The Archer is going to be hitting you pretty hard, probably die pretty fast though, one of the first ones, but she does a lot of damage when she does hit. So this team's going to be pretty challenging, especially being it's at 442,000 power. More than likely 5 and 6 stars on all of these, because you can see at your power level your team is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 and 6 stars as well. This is kind of a thrown together weird mix with Thoros and Rhaegal, but we do have the synergism of the 3 White Warden, White Walker team, so hopefully that plays together well, even though they are not in a aligning faction, which is something I haven't really understood where they're going with that. You would have thought that these characters would have been in an aligning faction upon release, but it's not, so I don't really know if they just felt like it would be too powerful if they threw a faction bonus on top of what they're already doing with the new mechanics of, revive and fear and things like that. I don't know, because I'm not privy to the development process, but I would have liked to have seen the White Walkers have their own White Walker faction. I think we really do need that, because that would give other characters a chance to actually have something to play off of as well, kind of like a Samwell Tarly. He's been a really good character that's just kind of been hanging out and waiting for the chance to shine and really use his ability, because it's, focused on killing White Walkers. So yeah, I think that really needs to happen. But anyway, that's the last of the trials. You will fight against a 6-person Stark team, and we can see in the Stark challenge call out, it says that the Starks have a powerful mid game when their ice triggers brittle. Yeah, it's very powerful. Whenever they get brittle on you, you're in big trouble, because if Ned hits you and you're brittle, you're gone. The Ice Warden is immune to ice and can grant that immunity to allies. So keep that in mind. The Ice Warden is immune to ice, and he can grant that ability to his allies. So the Ice Warden has the possibility of negating this ice effect from this Stark team if he can get that rolling. But I don't know really how many turns we're talking about for that to kind of come to fruition. But just imagine if he can get a ice immunity on Rhaegal. It's pretty much game over at that point. Rhaegal could just outlast everything and destroy everything. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see, especially being there's 2 greens on this team. You'll be charging both up at once, and if you're looking to try to get Rhaegal pumping some damage out there, if he gets an ice immunity, that's pretty much game over at that point, I would think. So that is the 6 battle challenge on the new, what did I call it? It is the new Monsters Beyond the Wall demo summon trial, and it is available inside your Monsters Beyond the Wall summon only if you have that ability. I need to call that out, because a lot of times when I make these videos, people say, well, I don't have that, why do I not have that? And they get frustrated. But what you've got to understand about this company and the way they develop their game is they put new content out to a select few people, and they basically do that to test the content content so that they can gain some feedback from their metrics and their reports that they run and any support issues that people turn in on it. And they use that as a testing process, and then they tweak it, and then if it's good and they decide to go with it, they roll it out to the rest of us. So if you do not have this, it's because you were not chosen, and it means that you were not chosen yet. It could possibly happen in the near future. They may decide to roll it out to more. We've seen them increase the rollout size many times. Or it may be a situation of the group that got it is the only group that gets it until they decide to release the content actually for all. So just keep that in mind when you're watching this video. Please don't hate me if you see it and you don't have it and you're like, why don't I have it? It's out of my control, guys, but I just want to show you what the content is so you can know what's coming and hopefully be able to plan your account better when you know that you're going to have the ability to possibly get this. This mechanic is super cool. I hope, honestly, that they decide to do this with more of the summons. I would love to see, you know, a trial inside this one or a trial inside this, you know, any of these. That would be really super cool. Let's do that. Let's make that happen so that we can have a way to get more tokens about a lot more of the heroes that we're looking to do. Right now, this is the new hot sauce because these are the new heroes that have been released. So obviously that's where they're wanting to try to focus on at this time. So yeah, that's really cool. So thumbs up to the development team at Game of Thrones Legends. I really like this mechanic. I like the way it's playing, and I like the way that you're rewarding players by doing basically a tutorial mission, teaching us how to use the new skills and giving us rewards to do so. I think that's a good step in the right direction. Keep it coming, and let's watch Game of Thrones Legends get better and better as time goes on. So thank you for watching my content. I really appreciate you being here. Be sure and check the description in my video for a link to my Discord. I have a thriving active Discord of over 500 people that love to talk about the game. We're an open community and we'll welcome you in and we'll discuss anything you have with you, give you some hero tips, some team suggestions, you know, answer your questions, hang out, talk, just whatever. We're a mobile gaming community and we love to hang out and talk about the game. So I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching the content, and I'll see you in the next video. Here in just a little bit, I'm going to make a video on Kingslayer in the new event, the Kingslayer bracket, and a good suggestion on a randomish team that you can use to do well. So check me out in that next video. I'll have that ready for you soon. Thanks a lot. Talk to you later.